Hi, and welcome to this Weekday Word. I continue to think about the quote from Dallas Willard that I shared last week, that the church is for discipleship and discipleship is for the world. And as I mentioned last week, knowing that the church is for discipleship really changes why we go to Sunday services, why we gather for worship, that it becomes a way of laying our lives down before the Lord, but it's also a way that we are strengthened and shaped to become like Jesus for the sake of the world. But in saying that the church is for discipleship, we're not just talking about Sunday services. We're talking about living our lives in the church, in the family of the church. And so we together are meant to be agents of discipleship in each other's lives. That's why going to church on a Sunday really is not enough to become like Jesus. You need relationships, you need other people. And so it's as we walk together as the church, sharing our lives with one another in classes and fellowship, in small group Bible studies, in all of these different ways in ministry. It's there that our lives help each other grow into the image of Jesus. And so the church is for discipleship. The church is there to help us grow into the likeness of Christ. But it'll only happen as much as we share our lives in the church. In other words, the old adage, you're only going to get out of it what you put into it, is so very true. If you really want to be conformed to the image of Christ, you have to live your life in the church. That's why one of the early church fathers said, "He who does not have the church as his mother cannot have God as his father." We simply cannot become like Jesus. We cannot faithfully follow Jesus outside of living our lives in the family of the church. I pray that you are blessed this day, and that as you share your life in the church, in ministry and mission and fellowship and learning, that you are conformed to the image of Christ so that the world may come to know him.